What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we are here with the brand new Pirate Alliance KIZUNA Clash versus Blackbeard. Now in this video we're not covering the super boss. I'll be making an additional video covering that one, but in today's video we're going to go ahead and have a look at the regular 10-star difficulty bosses. Now unfortunately there was a little bit of a mix-up in terms of the data miners getting the information for these stages. So the video that I made previously, it's technically incorrect because each of these stages actually do different things in terms of the colors, and actually the colors altogether are a lot different from what we initially had thought. So the first boss that we encounter here is the Dex variation, and of course we have the free-to-play teams running first. We're going to run the all the free-to-play teams first, then we'll have my own personal team at the end of the video. Of course there's timestamps down below if you want to skip to a certain team, but of course we have the Katarina Devon with who's an int character and has the 4 turns of % damage reduction. Now you see here that I used the special ability of the Colosseum Okiku to remove it, as well as giving us an orb boosting effect. Losing Luffy and the Straw Hats here are obviously very, very good. Remember that cooldown will be given to Fighter, Free Spirit, and Driven, so definitely build a team around that. Also, this free-to-play team is using the wrong ship, so don't mind the ship, definitely change it to something else. And of course, on the final boss stage versus Blackbeard, he has all of those immunities, of course, and also he has 5 turns of defense up, makes tandem slots badly matching for 5 turns as well, and gives you a full board of tandem slots. And then after a certain period, after level 30, he's going to give you attack down below a certain chain multiplier, as well as apply chain coefficient reduction. In most cases, it's typically around a 2x boost. Moving on now to the next team versus the int variation. So Dex was first, int is the second boss, and for this team we want to be building characters with strength, psi, and int typings. Those are the characters that receive the 15 turns of cooldown. And on stage 2 we have to deal with Avalo Pizarro, who's a psi character, 2.5 million HP a hit for him. I think it's around about that, give or take, and his preemptive attack has 3 turns of a 1-hit perfect barrier, so you do need to hit a perfect to break through, unless if you do have someone with barrier penetration, which is definitely feasible. And then also on the last stage, you do need to be careful because you're not allowed to activate a slot effect boost on the last stage. So you definitely want to have some type of way to carry an orb boost in, or have another way around that, such as Roger and Newgate, who can activate their switch effect to just generate the minor orb boost, and then you can buff it with the Whitebeard special ability. And then after level 30, he's going to apply some amount of despair to your team. At this point in time we don't know what amount of despair that's going to be, so obviously it makes sense to use Roger and Newgate because their special ability will remove the despair off of your team, which makes a pretty big difference there. But overall a really fun team, and definitely not an ideal captain for this either. Don't use Zoro and Sanji. I have no idea why I decided to bring them, but despite not even using their special ability, this is going to do a lot of damage either way because Roger and Whitebeard are an incredibly powerful unit. Moving on now to the final variation, and it's actually quick. Initially, we thought it was going to be an int boss, a psi boss, and then a dex boss, but for some reason, quick is the final color. Now, on this battle, you will need to bring Free Spirit, Fighters, and Cerebrals. Those are the characters that receive the cooldown. Shiryu on the next stage is pretty annoying, around about 2.5 million health, but he has a slot barrier, and that slot barrier can be either a strength or a dex barrier, but luckily, it is only for 1 slot, so you don't need to worry too much about it. But he does shuffle your slots to recovery, bomb, and tandem slots. So in this team variation, we're using Cracker to do a really good health cut on the enemy, and then we use the switch effect of Luffy and the Straw Hats to just generate 1 strength slot so we can pierce through the barrier, and then King's just here to ensure we get the win against Shiryu, because he actually does have quite a lot of HP. And then the final boss versus Blackbeard, pretty interesting. He actually revives on the final stage. He revives with 21% of his max HP, and then after he revives, he does like really annoying stuff in terms of limiting the amount of specials you can use after the revive, and also tap limit. You can only use, I think it's 3 tap limit on the revive, but also as the preemptive attack, he has attack down inflicted to your team, slots locked as well, so, you know, definitely find a way to just change those into matching. At least he locks your slots for you, that's a huge benefit. And then after level 30, he's going to give you additional attack down. I expect it to be 1 turn of additional attack down to be 6, and then the paralysis, we don't know how many turns of paralysis. I assume it's going to be maybe like 1, 2, 4, 5, it could be anything, we don't really know, but it shouldn't be anything more than 5. Moving on now to my own personal team, this is one team actually that is able to beat all variations of this KIZUNA clash. So we have a Dex team, the Int team, and the Quick team all being able to be beaten by this team. Now, of course, we don't know what the gimmicks are after level 30 in terms of the amount of gimmicks that are actually applied. And the main one that this team may struggle with is the paralysis that gets inflicted after level 30 on the Quick variation. Depending on that, we may not be able to get around it, but either way, this is a good team that's able to beat all of them, as well as giving us additional super boss tokens and additional tickets, should I say, due to the fact that we are using Ace. So the way that this team kind of works, at least on this variation, is we're actually just doing normal attacks through this percent damage reduction. We do have Rager on the team, which is able to remove that, but we are saving it for the defense up on the final boss stage. Because we are using Ace, as long as he has like a matching slot, he just does like heaps of damage towards the enemy because he's super effective against all types. Makes a big difference. And then on the final boss stage, of course, we can just go ahead and launch the Luffy special to guarantee us the full board of slots, and then Trafalgar Law provides us with the 2.5 chain boundary effect, and then Rager removes the defense up. We are using a lot of supports as well, which is going to help out in some of the other different variations that you guys see in this video. Moving on now to the second variation with this team, and it's going to be versus Int. And for this team, against Ivalo Pizarro on Battle 2, where he just has the perfect barrier and he burns us. I mean, nothing really too special there. We just want to try and get as many matching slots as we possibly can. Once again, we do want to make sure that we hit the Toki special and target at both of our aces, considering they're super effective against all types. Makes a pretty big difference there, so that we get the 3.5 attack and or boost in the final boss stage. However, in this recording, I actually find the mini boss, which is Moria. Now, Moria is actually not that ideal, at least if you're using Toki, because Moria, when you kill him, does give you a 2.75 times orb boosting effect, which means that that being active, you can't get Toki's orb boost instead. So a little bit of a downside there, but if you are using Roger and Newgate, for example, it won't matter because you can buff it to a 3x boost. So it just depends on what kind of team composition you're kind of going for there. And of course, on the final boss stage, we do get badly matching slots. And of course, about the slot effect boost, you're not allowed to activate an orb boost on the Int variation. Luckily though, with Toki, it activates as like an a just random effect, right? So it's not going to activate the interrupt of Blackbeard. Makes a big difference. And then in terms of the bind removal, we don't have to worry about that because we have Kanjuro, we have Corazon, and we have Rayleigh, which all remove bind, despair, and then of course 2 of those remove paralysis as well, which are huge benefits for getting around certain gimmicks throughout all of these stages. The final team of this video, of course, is going to be versus the quick variation with my team, and with this specific team, you got to remember, of course, is on stage 2, where you get tandem bomb and recovery slots, and you have to make sure you have at least a strength or a dex slot. Luckily, Ace is able to remove all of those bad slots that get given to you. He changes them into matching, and then we can just switch Luffy into a dex unit if we need that dex slot specifically. Also as well about this team is the fact that on the final stage you do get given 5 turns of attack down, and then after level 30 there is an additional turn of attack down given to your crew. And the thing about it is that Ace has a special that removes 6 turns of attack down, so I guess you can kind of surmise the fact that it probably is going to be 6 turns of attack down inflicted after level 30. But overall, a really fun team, and I hope you guys are having fun with this KIZUNA clash. I know that it's been a bit rough at the beginning trying to make sure these teams actually work, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and definitely stay tuned to the YouTube channel as we'll have the Super Boss content very, very soon. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video today, and if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
Yoshi, 行くぞ!